Mass Effect 2 on Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Alright, I'm going to skip the preamble and we're going to get right into this because frankly, there isn't that much to talk about in terms of the overall game. Because with the remaster of Mass Effect 1, I'm not going to bother talking about the story because the story is a one-to-one port of the original Mass Effect 2. Therefore, we're just going to get right into what's relevant with a review like this. Graphics, gameplay, quality of life changes, and the ever-hovering censorship question. Like I said, no big talks, no beefy intros. Let's get right to it. The only thing about the game's content I will say is that it's great to have all the DLC available. That means extra weapons, alternate squad skins, and all 3 extra story DLCs. Liara's adventures with the Shadow Broker is such a good story, and it adds so much depth to Liara. It shows how she's grown as a character. It's great. It's great. I love it, and it's so much fun. Overlord Dlc is a great and poignant story with a touching carryover to ME3, depending, of course, on your choices. And Arrival, that's great for some intense solo combat as Shepard, making you earn it, and allowing for a proper bridge for why Shepard is on Earth at the start of Mass Effect 3. So again, it's great to have all this content available right at the start for simply the cost of the game, whatever your purchase price may be. Let's get to this now. The graphics. The game is flat out beautiful. The original Mass Effect 2 was already a great looking game for its time, so this remaster is basically a very well done facelift. Every scene is smooth. The in-game and cutscene action looks fantastic. The basic graphical structure is unchanged, so what we've been delivered here is merely a more pleasing updated view of things. Nothing revolutionary, but unlike the PS3 version, I never think I'm playing a game that's over a decade old. When it comes to actually playing the game, it's still the Mass Effect 2 we know and love. Weapons wheel? Check. Powers wheel? Check. Ability to command your squad? Check. Cover mechanic that you have to use to press X to activate? Unfortunate check. That's one thing I would have changed and kept from the ME1 remaster. Just move into cover. Don't make me press X, because sometimes you suffer from what I like to call wrong button syndrome, and instead of trying to get to cover, you're hitting X too much, and you end up leaping over said cover into a bad situation. But that's about it. But it's fine. It's fine. Overall, though, this blends into the quality of life changes because Mass Effect Legendary Edition has all 3 games in one. They decided to make what I consider a major quality of life change when it comes to the combat controls. It's all the same now. Originally, moving from a playthrough of Mass Effect 1 into Mass Effect 2, you would suffer, as I see it, initial muscle memory problems because the combat controls were swapped from the 2 games. Your combat action wheel and buttons were swapped. That's the best way I can put it. When you started Mass Effect 2, right after playing Mass Effect 1, you go to fire your guns and instead you're opening a power wheel or your weapon wheel. That little problem's gone now, since the combat controls are universal for all 3 games. Therefore, it's easy for me to say that when it comes to the gameplay aspect of combat, Mass Effect 2 is still Mass Effect 2, now without muscle memory problems at the beginning. The HUD remains clear for targeting enemies with power, and whatever your chosen method of massacring your foes is, mine being sniper rifle shots to the head, the gameplay continues to bend towards your desired playstyle. Okay, before we go any further here, I'm going to state this. What I'm about to say is my opinion on all of this. You are free to disagree with my opinion. You are free to do whatever you want after I've rendered my opinion. But it is my opinion. I am not here to curry favor with anybody. I'm here to give you honest reviews, honest opinions, and honest takes. I'm not here to try and make sure that my channel is the number one go-to for this kind of stuff. No, I'm here to give you a straight up and down what I see happened. Therefore, this is just my opinion. If you don't like it, well then maybe you're not going to have fun on my channel anymore. All right, I am not going to beat around the bush any longer. let's get to the moment you've all been waiting for, and what is likely still a make or break buy when it comes to you fine people looking to me for answers. The possibility of censorship in Mass Effect Legendary Edition. As I noted in my review of Mass Effect 1 Remaster, there was no censorship that I could see whatsoever in that game. Mass Effect 2, being the source of the entire Mass Effect Legendary Edition, is going to be censored heavily. Look out! Because, as we know, BioWare decided to virtue signal by changing the camera angle during a particular conversation with Miranda Lawson, whereas you were no longer centered on her butt. Here's the original image, obviously not from a playthrough by me. And now, let's take a moment and watch the cutscene where this happens from my playthrough.
I don't like discussing personal matters. You remember what I told you? There was another reason I went. She's living a normal life on Ilium, safe and hidden from my father.
So you think your father has tracked her down?
Precisely. I've tried to keep her hidden without impacting her life. He's too close. I need to relocate my sister's family before it's too late.
That's it, folks. There's your boogeyman big censorship moment in Mass Effect 2 in Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I'm going to be totally honest on two fronts here. Was it a censor? Yeah, it was. This was nothing but a virtue signaling move by the devs at BioWare to appease the SJW crowd that doesn't even play their games. That's what this was. It was a virtue signal, plain and simple. But if you're going to call it a game-breaking moment, I don't know. You know what? If they had never even said they did it, I would not have ever even noticed. Seriously. I would have just been in the scene of the moment, clicked my conversation option, and move on. That's how inconsequential this was to me. I never would have noticed. And it's laughable at this point that people are deciding to stand on a principle over such a minor thing. But if you want to stand on it, great. Stand on it, don't buy it, hate me for my opinion. I don't like censorship of anything, but this, if you're going to go to the mat and say you are not going to buy this game, which has so far turned out to be a fantastic remaster, update, whatever you want to call it, if you're not going to buy this game over such a tiny little thing that I guarantee you would not have noticed either if they hadn't mentioned it and you were just playing the game, in my opinion, this was done to keep the SJWs at bay and somewhat appeased so their locust swarm would just move on to something else and forget about Mass Effect Legendary Edition. That's what I think. And if you're going to hold on to this one little thing and let it ruin the game for you, ruin what could be a fantastic, what is it now, probably going to be a good 70, 90 hours of gameplay across all three games, if you're going to let that ruin it for you over principle that frankly is a little flimsy, I'm sorry, but that's lame. That's lame. Hate me for saying that, but it's lame. Now, I would be remiss and not honest if I did not say I think there might have been another camera angle move. I don't have a recording of it because I wasn't recording the footage at the time, but at one moment, the camera cut to Miranda's ankles for literally a second. Maybe it was another butt shot, I don't know, but it was so quick that I immediately dismissed it and I forgot about it until I was thinking about this stuff again. In the end, who cares? Because as you can see in this clip here, your love scene with Miranda is totally as it was in the original Mass Effect 2. Black lacy bra and all. If anything was going to be censored to appease the SJW Puritans, don't you think they would have done it right here and here? Where, and it is my belief, and I've done enough of the love scenes to take a look at it, this is the most explicit sex scene in Mass Effect 2. Now, all throughout the rest of the game as well, in Mass Effect 2 that is, plenty of gratuitous body linger, camera linger, whatever you want to call it, shots of Miranda's perfect body, as well as moments to gaze upon female forms. You can see it right here. And also, hello, Samara's cleavage. All right, that's it. I got nothing else to say on this. I'm going to start my playthrough of Mass Effect 3 later today as of the making of this video, so we'll see soon enough, once and for all, the level of so-called censorship throughout the whole entire Mass Effect Legendary Edition. But knowing that other channels have sped ahead and covered ME3 love scenes at this point, I feel safe in saying things are as they always were. And I don't think there's anything to really fear. I look forward, upon completing my ME3 playthrough, saying the so-called tip of the iceberg was just a tiny little piece of ice. A moved camera angle. Plain and simple. In the end, I'm going to give Mass Effect 2 from Mass Effect Legendary Edition a 9.5 out of 10 because, again, I'm taking off half a point for unnecessary lens flares during cutscenes. Still a very dumb choice. Pulls you right out of the scene. So there you have it, guys. If you want to continue to dig in on the single moment of the moving of a camera angle and say you cannot buy this game because of censorship, fine. Do whatever you want if you truly think it's such a desperate matter of principle that you have to stick to it. In reality, I think anybody who's clinging to this is being unnecessarily pig-headed in their attempts to fight against anything woke. And it's legitimate to want to fight against the woke. We don't want it in anything. But this camera angle change was not game-breaking. And I hold that I would never have noticed it and that you would never have noticed it. And I think you're lying to yourself if you say you would have. And you would have just continued with the conversation and gone ahead and not even know. Therefore, I continue to be confident in telling anyone who has watched my reviews of Mass Effect Legendary Edition so far by saying, go buy this game. If you love Mass Effect, you will not be disappointed. Okay, I'm done. See you in my continuing gameplay videos and my review of Mass Effect 3 when it arrives. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, hit the like button. Share it around. Comment away. I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Take it easy. Thanks for watching, everybody. I still don't do Facebook, I still don't do Twitter, but there are ways to interact with me outside of YouTube. You can email me at therennerd@gmail.com. It's purely for this channel, so there's no chance I will miss any communication from you. You can also find me active at the Geeks and Gamers forums under the handle Roas. And I am on Parler now. Follow me at therennerd on Parler. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.